All right, guys, here we go. We're going to start a new chapter here, continuing along with trig. So section 8.1 is right triangle trig with applications. So just a reminder of your SOHCAHTOA, we have that sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, right? Cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent's equal to opposite over adjacent. Make sure to remember those. If you do not have those memorized, make sure you memorize them before this next test. But here we go. Let's get right into it. So the lesson starts off with some kind of straightforward stuff. If you need to refresh what a hypotenuse is or what a right triangle is, there's a slide for that, but I don't think we're going to go into it here, so for the sake of time. So let's go right into example 1. Example 1 says, finding the value of trig functions from a right triangle. So we have this picture here, and it says to find the value of the 6 trig functions of the angle theta in the figure. So if we zoom in on this figure here, the theta is dealing with this angle right here. Let's see if I can get my pens to work. There we go. Okay, so we have this guy right here. Okay, so if I want to know what the in order to get all 6 trig functions, I need to know all 3 sides. So in order to get that side, I can just use my Pythagorean theorem. So let's do that. We have 3 squared plus b squared equals 5 squared. We can see there that this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. We know that b is going to equal to 4 here, but you can do it out if you need to. So we have 4. So this side is 4. Now what we can do is from the theta perspective, from this perspective, I can find my sine, cosine, tangent, secant, cosecant, cotangent. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just use my patterns, right? So the sine of theta is going to be equal to the opposite, which is 4. So sine of theta is equal to opposite of 4 over hypotenuse, which is 5. Cosine of theta would be equal to the adjacent, which is 3 over hypotenuse, which is 5. The tangent of theta is equal to opposite over adjacent, so that would be 4 over 3. And then we know that everything is just flipped for the other ones, right? So we have cosecant, secant, and cotangent. All of those are just going to be the opposites. We'd have 5/4, 5/3, and 3/4. All right, so that's what all of this next section here is saying. That's example 1, pretty straightforward. Example 2 is pretty fun. This is a problem of a rain gutter that's going to be constructed of material that's 15 inches wide. After marking off a length of 5 inches from each edge, the sides are bent up at some kind of angle, and we're supposed to figure out the correct angle that would allow for the most water to flow through the gutter. Okay, so kind of an interesting problem. So in order to do that here, a little bit of a refresher on geometry. We know that if we have, what we see here is we have these parallel lines, right, cut by these transversals. So if you go back to your geometry lesson, you would know, or you would remember that what that creates is 2 thetas here that are the same. So in other words, this angle and this angle are the same, this angle and this angle are the same. So we can use that to our advantage here to solve this thing, and it kind of gives us that. So we know that what we need to figure out here is we need an area that is expressed in terms of sine and cosines here, so that we can graph it and find out what the maximum is. So what I'm going to do is, I remember that my area for a triangle is equal to 1/2 base times height, right? 1/2 base times height. In this particular picture, it looks like my height is b, so it would be 1/2 b times my base, which would be a. Okay, but I don't know what b and a are, so I have to find them. Okay, so what I can do here is I can put b and a in terms of sine and cosine. If this is my theta right here, I know that b is, if I said, okay, so b is dealing with the opposite, right? And then I know my hypotenuse is 5. Well, opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So I can say the sine of theta is equal to b over 5, and I can solve for b. b is equal to 5 times the sine of theta. All right, that's going to be important. So I know what b is in terms of sine. Let's find a. So a here from my theta is going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is 5. So my cosine of theta because it's adjacent and hypotenuse, is going to be equal to a over 5. Therefore, a is equal to 5 cosine theta. All right, so now I have my base and I have my height for my triangles. And remember, there's two identical here, right? So I'm going to say, okay, we have 2 times and then 1/2. So right there, I know those are going to cancel out, but that's okay. So 2 times 1/2, 5 cosine theta. Excuse me. Man, I should edit that out, but I'm not going to. All right, so here we go. So sine of theta. All right, so these cancel, and what I'm left with is 25 sine of theta cosine of theta. All right, so that's my area for my 2 triangles. Now I have to find my area for my rectangle in order to get my full area. So that's going to just be 5 base times my height, b. Well, I know b is 5 sine of theta. I've already solved for that. So I know that my area for my rectangle is going to be equal to 5 times 5 sine of theta, which is 25 sine of theta. Okay, so now, final step for part A is to write out the total area. Area is going to be equal to 25 sine of theta cosine of theta plus 25 sine of theta. And you could do a little bit of simplifying here because you have a 25 and sine in both. So if you took 25 sine of theta out, you'd be left with cosine of theta plus 1. All right, so I've already done you the favor of graphing this, but you can put this in Desmos or to your graphing calculator. Let's just take a look at what that looks like. So I'm here on Desmos, and notice that my peak here, the peak area, the highest area is going to occur right here at 32.48. Excuse me. Okay, and so we see down here, part B here, it says 32.48. That is exactly the answer of the maximum angle for theta. Oh. So sorry, guys. I'm battling COVID or something. Who knows what. All right, so continuing on. Sorry. The complementary angle theorem. Okay, so for the complementary angle theorem, what this means is I think we've already seen this before in the last chapter, but if you have the sine of b, that's equal to an opposite over hypotenuse, which in this case is b over c. Well, that's the same exact thing as the cosine of a. So sine of b equals cosine of a. Cosine of b equals sine of a. Tangent of b equals cotangent of a. And this goes on and on. All right, so I gave these to you in your notes, so keep these. These are called complementary angles. And you can use them for various things like example 3. So example 3 says the cosine is 79 degrees. Well, that's the same thing. Sorry, sine of 79 degrees. That's the same thing as cosine of 90 minus 79 degrees, which is equal to the cosine of 11. Okay, so complementary angles are complementary in that they add up to 90. So the sine of one and the cosine of the other always adds up to 90. Same thing with tangent here. So tangent of pi over 18, that's the same thing as the cotangent of 90 minus pi over 18, which is cotangent of 4 pi over 9 when you simplify. And then down below here, we know that sine squared of theta plus cosine squared of theta is equal to 1. So if you have the sine squared of 55 degrees plus the sine squared of 35 degrees, well, sine squared of 35 is the same thing as cosine squared of 55, right? So that's the sine of a theta plus the cosine of the same theta. That's always equal to 1. Okay, so that's example 3. And then we get into solving some right triangles. So here we go. This is example 4. So example 4 says solve the right triangle if b is equal to 4, a is equal to 35 degrees, find a, b, c. Well, we know b, that's pretty simple. This is 90, right? So this has to be a 60. So 30, 60. Oh, sorry, this is 35 degrees. Sorry, this would have to be 55 degrees. Okay, so we know that's the case. now we can use, to find A and C, we can use just a trig, well, it depends on which angle you want to use here, but you could, if you're looking at this angle, we know that from 35 degrees to find A, that would be the opposite, and we know the adjacent. So opposite over adjacent deals with tangent, so we could say tangent of 35 is equal to A over 4, which means A is equal to 4 times the tangent of 35. And if you did that out on your calculator, you should get like 2.80 or something like that. Okay, so go ahead and test me on that one, check that one, make sure it's good. And then we have, for the other one, for C, we could say the cosine of 35 degrees, right? Because I know my adjacent, and I'm looking for my hypotenuse, is equal to 4 over A. To solve for A here, you can swap these two, right? So A is equal to 4 over cosine of 35. Plug that in and you have 4.88 approximately. All right, so that's example 4. Example 5, almost done here, guys. So for example 5, it says if A is equal to 4 and B is equal to 2, find C, A, and B. All right, so if I'm looking for B, well, it depends on what you want to start with here, but if you're looking for, first of all, let's just find C. Why not? Let's just do that. So 2 squared plus 4 squared is equal to C squared. C then is equal to the square root of 20. So C is equal to, that would be 4 root, square root of 4 square root of 5, so that's 2 root 5. So I know this is 2 root 5. Okay, so now that I have all 3 side lengths, I can easily find my angles. I'm going to go ahead and use A. If I use A, and I want to use 4 and 2, that would be opposite over adjacent. So I can say the tangent of A is equal to 4 over 2, which means A is equal to the inverse tangent of 2. If you put the inverse tangent of 2 into your calculator, you come out with 63.4 as long as you're in degree mode. So that's A. If that's A, you can take 90 degrees, subtract that, and you'll have B. Okay, so in this case, B is equal to 26.6. All right, so that's example 5. Let's go to example 6, kind of a fun problem here with a river, trying to figure out this distance here. Not too difficult at all. If we know that this is 30 degrees, and we know this value, that's an adjacent, and we need to know the opposite, right? So this is the tangent of 30 is equal to B over 300. So B is equal to 300 tan 30, which is equal to 173.2 meters. Excuse me. All right, so that was example 6. Final one here before my voice gets out. Example 7 says, what is angle B in the picture? So B is right here. We happen to know the opposite. We happen to know the hypotenuse. So we can say sine of B is equal to 3,100 over 14,100, which means B is equal to the inverse sine of that thing. Oops, there you go. Which is equal to 12.7. Last but not least, you guys, please review angle of elevation, which is here. So just go ahead and pause the video, take a look at this. Angle of depression, which is here. And we'll check in next time. Sorry for the choppy video with all the coughing.